I'm gonna make it real short and sweet.
Cool.
There's a bunch of fairy tales written a long time ago by people.
Yes.
Hans
Brothers
Christian,
Grimm.
Brothers Grimm, whatever they are. Okay?
Yeah, sure. Hans Christian Andersen.
Right. And a lot of those stories were tragic. Like people died.
Really brutal.
People got stuff they weren't supposed to get. People got favor they weren't supposed to get favor. Good people didn't always win. Bad people sometimes won. It was like real life shit.
They're dark. Okay? Yes.
Well, when cartoons come along, and specifically Disney comes along, they decide, well, like, if you're good, you should get good shit. Right? Like bad guys should always get bad and good guy. And if you're a good person, prevail, it always wins and blah, blah, blah. And in a nutshell, they kind of set up a whole generation of kids to be like, well, if I'm good, I get what I deserve.
Yes.
And bad people don't get what they deserve. But that's not how the world works. Right? And so now as a parent of like a 5-year-old or going to be 5-year-old, right? I'm like, man, should I let her watch these movies? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what should I do? Like, what should I do? You know what I mean? And wow, did that impact us more as a society than we really thought? Because you got to think, just about anybody probably has seen Cinderella or knows what Cinderella is, or that Disney did Cinderella. And that was one of the first examples of them whitewashing these to make it better than it was, right? You know what I mean? And so I don't know if I have a question necessarily as much as, what do you think?
Oh man. Okay, got to throw this in here and maybe there'll be tons of eye rolls, but that's where it's like, it's why you got to mix some of this with the Bible, right? Okay, you don't have to do that. But I got to bring in, Jesus for a second here, because I think that is an important counterexample that being a really good person on this planet often means getting poorly treated by the world, right? And of course, there's way more to that than that I don't want to make this a Christian diatribe, but let's just kind of, you got Disney on this hand, you got Jesus on the other. It's like, those are some pretty different messages. It's like, even though if you're a Christian, you believe that Jesus went into heaven and good things happened to him, it's like, but it was really bad for a while there. And that's a lesson about kind of teaching people and kids, especially, you've got to be a good person even when you're not treated well in return.
That's right.
Which, on the other hand, with Disney, it's like, no, you will treat people well and then you'll automatically kind of get rewarded. Even though, even Disney characters, they go through an arc, right? They have struggles and that sort of thing. Yeah. Man, I don't know what to say other than, as a Disney kid, solidly like a 90s Disney princess gal. Funny story, my mom showed me the real version of The Little Mermaid when I was 6, and in the real version of The Little Mermaid dies.
That's right.
Of a broken heart.
That's right.
Which I watched it. I watched this Grimm's fairy tale or whatever it was version of that, and I was inconsolable, sobbing, and she immediately just puts the Disney version back on. She's like, "Here, watch the Disney one." Right, because it's devastating and it's terrifying for kids. And I do think there's something that we lose if we don't show kids things that are sad. We do run the risk of not being honest with them and not reckoning with them like they're actual real people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think because I'm just speaking from my parent lens, because I don't want anything to happen to her. I want her to be okay. I want her to be happy. I don't want everyone to be sad, blah, blah, blah. That parents tend to whitewash kids' lives. You know what I mean? And I don't do that. You know what I mean? We were at the park and we were leaving. This is a long time ago. And we were at the park and leaving, and this poor turtle, he got hit by a car.
Yeah.
But somehow he made it over to the sidewalk. And so there was this cracked turtle on the sidewalk, and Daddy was just like, man, she goes, I think that turtle's hurt. I was like, yeah, he's hurt pretty bad. You know what I mean? And when we talk about it or whatever, and I just don't avoid, if she sees something that I really don't want her to see, Like, I don't go, I'll give you an example. She came to me and she was like, Daddy, what's the word fuck mean? And I said, well, I go, well, where'd you hear that? She said, well, one of the kids at school said it. No, that's not what she said. I'm sorry. She said, is fuck a bad word? She said, is fuck a
Yes.
bad word? I said, it is. I go, but in certain situations, it can be used appropriately and be right. But you're not there yet on any of those. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes.
And so I feel like that conversation is a better conversation to have than just could go is like, it's fuck a bad word and just go, yes.
Yeah.
Or even go, don't say that, or you
Don't say
shouldn't
that.
say that, or why'd you say fuck? Like now start, like interrogating her on her saying
Yes.
fuck and telling me a story. Like, I just think that, your kids specifically are curious. People are curious too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think sometimes I don't give people enough credit for being like, I'm heavily tattooed, right? And so people kind of stare and they look and sometimes they ask weird questions and things like that. And like, I've learned how to give grace and space to be curious because they don't know, and kids don't know and people don't know. And you have to leave that space like open for that, right? And I think that leaving that curiosity open, being able to answer questions, answer them honestly, even when they suck, and not whitewashing that so much in the sense of what these Disney films. I mean, look, I'm gonna let her watch them. Like we'll
Yeah, of
talk about
course.
it and explain it. Like I'm not like some crazy parent that's gonna like boycott Halloween. Like what are we talking about, right?
Yes.
But like I do want to have real conversations like around like that person's evil or and make sure there's a reality to like at least our real world. Like that's a cartoon. This is our real world, right? Those are bad words. You know what I mean? But we're just not. I don't know.
I think if you use it, right, anything as a jumping off point to have a further discussion with your kid, then it's cool. I think what the hard part is if you just only show your kids certain things and then there's no conversation about it. Whether they're only watching like candy cane Disney movies and you're not having any conversations about that, or they're only watching like R-rated movies and you're not having any conversations about that. It's like no matter what you're exposing your kids to, what's more important than what you're exposing them to, even though that of course that matters, but what's more important than what you're exposing them to is the fact that you are actually using that as a jumping off point to connect with them and talk to them.
This is just a thought, but I would even think that when we were with other humans and we feel like we need to be good and perfect and all those feelings that come along, we whitewash ourselves a little bit. Right? Like I'm not gonna
Yeah.
I'm not gonna curse. I'm not gonna wear my hair like this. I'm not gonna say these words. I'm not gonna ask them about their dad dying because I know they'll be upset.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of a like you should ask about their dad dying. Like, you know what I mean? Don't watch that to like, well, like they'll figure it out. And like, that's not like go like, hey, like, or just like, go, how are you feeling I know that your dad is sick. How are you feel? Just that human element of like real talk, real things. Like, like if say you lost someone or say you lost your kitty cat or something like that. And I saw you, but I didn't talk about it with you.
Yeah.
And I know you and we're friends and it's good friends, but I'm scared I'm going to make you cry if I bring it up. Like that's nuts. Like that's nuts to whitewash it to the point of like, I don't want Hannah to cry, so I'm not going to bring it up. Like I need to bring it up
You gotta
because
bring it up. I mean, and it's
maybe she
right.
wants to, and she can say no. She can like, I don't want to talk about it, but at least she knows that I'm thinking of her. I'm trying to connect. Even if I get like, my girlfriend's not a hugger. And so a lot of times I'll go like, could I have a hug? And she'll go, no. Like, and I'll go, okay. And I just walk off. Like, I don't go like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And I think that even the fact that I just asked for a hug, it's like I gave her one. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yes.
she knows my intentions and she knows that I care. Even when she says, I don't want one, she knows that that's what I was intending, I hope. Right. Yes. So what if I just, what if I just never offered to hug her or never tried or never did anything and then we were disconnected? You know what I mean? Like we wouldn't even have the connection of the feeling of me wanting. Does that make sense?
Yes. Well, and what this comes back to too, it's like with any of these questions, The best thing that you can offer your kids and probably the people in your life is your attention. And that's easier said than done because there's all
Your
kinds of things.
presence, your presence.
Yeah.
Your presence is your present. Or
Yeah, your presence is a present. Kiss my
Yeah.
ass. Quote. Who is it?
It's a great quote, but it sucks so bad. It's just like it's like yeah, okay, whatever. You know what I mean? I get it, but you're right. But like I get it.
Your presence is a present. That part.
Yeah. You're right, but like don't say that. Like
I don't know. It's just the more I lean into, because right, as a clinician, this is what I do all the time. But the more I lean into my own moments of vulnerability and realize what are the things that actually make my day feel bearable when my day is sucking, it's someone giving me a little bit of time, a little bit of care. And it's like really like the lack of knowing what to say or having the right answer or having the solution is it's really not nearly as important as someone just checking in and saying that they're there. So
I would even say like showing up with solutions or like all the stuff that you said is a whitewashing.
Yeah,
right?
it is.
Because like if you go back to
what's really happening, which is you're sad, you don't know what to do.
The Brothers Grimm would just show up and just watch you cry. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, Disney would show up and solve your problems. Brothers Grimm would just be like, well, deal with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
life sucks.
Sad. Yeah, life sucks. Yeah, I'll give you a hug after, you know?
I was just talking to my mom about this in the old fairy tales, and then I know we got to get out, but it's like, why were fairy tales so dark back then, right? It's so easy. You read them and they're laughably dark. I mean, it's bad. It's scary. I'm like, I don't even want to read this. I can't believe that we were telling kids this stuff. But if you think about it, especially back in the day, now too, but I mean, death and hardship has always exist. But I think in the times when the Brothers Grimm were knocking around in the 1800s, right? Like death was common. Like disease, death, losing your mom in childbirth, like these were real things that kids would have encountered head on. Now kids still encounter tragedy, like that still exists. But I think back then, because tragedy was just more common, death was more of a thing. It's like you kind of wanted to give kids something to actually freaking reckon with that. Right. And I think those fairy tales, even though like I don't like them, they make me depressed. But like I do feel like it was this bridging of the gap of being like, hey kids, like life is crazy. It's really rough. Like let's reckon with it. Because I know you just saw your mom die, right, in childbirth with your little brother. And so I think there was just like more reckoning with reality. I don't know.
Well, what hope do you have as someone that maybe is downtrodden or not doing well, blah, 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 if every story you hear, only the good guys win?
Yeah.
If the bad guys never win, then you just go, well, I never win, so there's no reason for me to strive for anything, right? Yeah. And I think bringing it back, wrapping it up, when we're working through our own shit, you're striving for something, and then sometimes it's just a matter of, like you said, like just sitting and being with someone and like just letting them be as they work through the uncomfortable story of what's going on. You know what I mean? So to being supportive to their goals, someone believing in them, kind of thing. You know what I mean? And just show them up as somebody believe, not fixing and solving and whitewashing all their problems.
Yeah, indeed. Over and out. I mean, yeah.